are leaving Curaçao on our way to Colombia. It's about 6 o'clock in the morning and it's going to be about 2 days, possibly 3, depending on the speed and the winds. Yeah, it should be quite exciting to get there. We're buddy boating with a group of new friends and that's really good actually, especially at this area. And it's nice to have other people out there doing exactly the same thing and people to play with. We'll keep you on track with the journey. As you can see, I always start off quite bright when we leave these trips, and as the trips go on and the more tired you get, then then it kind of goes downhill from there. But yeah, this is the morning excitement.
You and me, we're family. The bond that we share is as deep as the sea. No matter how rough things may come to be, you and me, we're family. Sing ho, hey, along for the ride. Ho, hey, I'll stay by your side.
So that's it, we waved goodbye to Curaçao and we're on our way to Colombia. So it's been a while since we've done a long sail. So how was Curaçao? I don't know, it was a strange sort of place. I think we struggled to get on with Curaçao. I don't know why. It was expensive, it wasn't particularly attractive, but Spanish water was a good sheltered bay. Although it was one of the worst places for jet skis and speedboats, and no speed restrictions in there, but really good shelter from the swell. Curaçao Marine was good, you know, again expensive, but we got everything we wanted to do there. I think we're kind of glad to be on our way, glad to be moving west. We decided not to go to Bonaire in the end because once we weighed everything up it just seemed more practical to go west. We want to do some kite surfing, we want to get the kids in particular into scuba diving, and it's a lot cheaper in Colombia than it is in Bonaire. So sad although it is to miss out Bonaire, the mooring facilities were a bit kind of dodgy. There's mooring balls which you've got to get on, but there's kind of some strange waiting list. You've got to jump on a mooring buoy as soon as somebody leaves, so there's a bit of a bun fight for them. And all in all, once we'd weighed it up, we just thought, do we go back on ourselves east to Bonaire or do we go west to Colombia? So off we go, and we'll be in Colombia on Friday in 3 days' time.
Going to Colombia!
So this is the first night watch from Curaçao to Colombia. We set off at 6 o'clock this morning from Curaçao. The winds have been fairly light, and we pretty much switched the engine off as soon as we left the anchorage, which meant we lost our buddy boats pretty much halfway through the day, because they kind of motor sailing in a more direct route, but we decided to kind of go a little bit further offshore and just sail with the wind. Unfortunately we couldn't put the ballooner up today, or the main ballooner anyway, because we damaged the halyard on the way down from Martinique, and I never got time to fix it. But we did get the mizzen ballooner up, which was good, give us a bit of extra speed. And currently it's about 12:30 and we're just kind of crossing the border from Venezuela into Colombia. And obviously Venezuela's got a few problems at the moment, and there's reports of pirate activity around the Venezuelan coast. So we're kind of glad to be leaving there. Soon we'll be rounding the peninsula down into northern Colombia, where we're heading to Santa Marta. And we should have been there on Friday if we'd been going at an average of 6 knots, but we're not doing anywhere near that at the moment. We're doing about 4.5 knots. So we probably won't make it until Friday afternoon, if not Saturday night. The kids have struggled to get back into homeschooling while on passage, so we've had a bit of a fraught day with the schooling front.
What do you do for schooling today?
Audiobooks.
Just that?
Yeah.
Well, there hasn't been much marine traffic on the journey. We've seen 1 or 2 boats. We have had one boat, sort of, it looks like a cruiser boat, tailing us. It basically came out of the coast of Venezuela and tailed us for a while, and now it's cutting right in front of our bows. And it's lit up like a Christmas tree, so I'm pretty sure it's not pirates, but I'm not quite sure what he's trying to achieve. and there's also been a thunderstorm that's been following us along the coast. Another reason we stayed well offshore was because we saw the forecast for the thunderstorm. It kind of breaks up as it leaves the coast, so we're leaving about 30 miles between us and that. Hopefully it seems to have died down a bit now.
Okay, so we've been getting this out up and down, and there's been no wind all night, but we want to give the engine a bit of a break, so we're going to try again now with the pole out and our genoa, and then we'll get our ballooner up, the mid one, the one that goes to the mizzen, because that's a bit easier, and it's also the angle of the wind isn't really right for a downwind front ballooner sail. So here we go. Okay, so the pole, you have to chuck the pole out, and then Woody pulls it on there, tightens it, and now we're going to pull the genoa out. In a minute, you're going to pull it. Get it. This is the second evening. Last night we kind of went round the headlands of Colombia, the Cape, and yeah, it's because it's light winds. It was really good sea states. There was nothing to worry about. It was nice sailing, but then there was a lot of kind of lightning gathering up on land, and it was kind of behind us, but it seemed to be getting closer, so we put the engines on to get moving, and then I came on watch, and one patch of lightning seemed to get bigger, so I put it right up to 2,500 revs, and we were going at like 10 knots racing away from it. And then there was a bit of lightning in front, so I turned the engines all off and tried to go as slow as possible. So we were kind of dodging lightning storms last night. It was a bit nerve-wracking because the lightning was very strong lightning. It was really shooting down, and I think if you were underneath it you wouldn't have had a chance really. But other than that, we've only seen lots of big tankers and cargo ships. We can only just slightly hear the rest of the fleet, and like us, they're probably struggling with the current which we've got. Looking at the charts and the currents, I can see that basically in September there's a little bit of current going the right way, but it tails off, and by October, which is what we're coming into now really, there's just current against you. We're a good 20 miles out from the peninsula, but maybe 40 miles out from the kind of inlet bit, and we're still getting about a knot of current, let's say. And I think it's probably worse if you go inland. So we've just turned the engine off now to give it a bit of a rest, and we're going at nearly 5 knots with our mainsail, our mizzen, and our mizzen ballooner up. But we're thinking of kind of turning in a bit and getting the genoa out, poled out with the spinnaker on the other side, or the ballooner they call it, and seeing how much we can keep our course. And we want to do that now before it gets too dark, in case there's any hiccups. As you know, we always get a few hiccups. Teamwork there. We had Rowan sort of managing from the helm and making sure everything was okay down in the cockpit. We had Darroch was on the ballooner sheet, and I pulled up the halyards, and Dad was managing the actual sail, and we got it up, no problems at all, yay! And when we bring it down this time, we were going to remember to bring the halyard down after. It's so ingrained in my brain now. But yeah, we are going already a knot faster. It's brilliant.
It's around about 9:30, 10 o'clock I think. It's been a good day sail, sort of not as fast as we'd like, but seas have been fairly calm. Managed to get the spinnaker up finally. As night was falling, we switched on the autopilot. I accidentally switched off the autopilot as I was putting it in dimmer mode, which sent us way off course, and the spinnaker backed, and when we got it back on track it snapped into place and tore a little hole in the spinnaker. So unfortunately we've had to reduce sail to just take a little bit of pressure off that sail, which means we're selling probably a knot less than what we could have done. But conditions are fairly calm. The kids have settled in again. Homeschooling went a little bit better today.
We do this for maths, as you can see on the block.
That's it. So I'm on till 2 o'clock, and then Arenga takes over, and then Rowan takes over around about 7 o'clock. Although Ewan is keen to get involved now, so he gets up around 7 o'clock. But I think he kind of likes the hot chocolate that he gets when he's on watch. Hopefully it'll be a quiet night. There's no traffic at all around tonight, and I hope it stays that way. Check in later on.
It's my watch again. It's the second night now. We're kind of, I don't know, I'm sort of doing 2 till 4. Rowan's doing 4 till 6 because she wanted to do some nighttime watches. We've had a lot of lightning at night. That's the main problem really, just lightning storms. So we've been trying to avoid that as best we can to stay out. So we've reefed up the Genoa and the Belluna just to try and take some pressure off that rip. We don't want it to rip further, and it seems okay. It's worse, we're just going to have to open it up and drop it, but it's kind of helping us quite a bit at the moment with speed. It looks like we won't get there tomorrow in the daylight, but more like, well, tomorrow in the night sometime, which is a little bit annoying because we don't really want to arrive at night. It's not our favourite thing. Rowan's pretty good now. She'll wake up by herself and get on with it. And then, yeah, Ewan's been doing an hour's watch as well. He still needs to sort of perfect a few things, but it's really cool that he's keen to do it. Okay, see you later. Right, good morning. So this is the third morning. It's Friday, and we've woken up and the storms are still there, and now we can kind of see the lightning in the daytime, and they seem to be exactly where we want to go. So now we're trying to work out how to get to land without heading straight for the storm.
Well, because we're on a passage that is a day passage, everyone has to do watches.
I'm very, very proud of Ewan, our youngest. He's 9 and now he's doing an hour watch on himself.
So I do watches starting at 6 or 5 o'clock. I wake up at 2, I go to sleep on deck, and then my Rowan, she wakes me up and says, "It's your watch now." And so I get up, she tells me what to do, like things like if there's lightning too close, wake mum up, or if there's a boat coming towards you, just wake mum up, and things like that.
So I sleep in the cockpit after my watch when Rowan's on and when Ewan's on. So I do get woken up quite a bit, but I do get to sleep a bit as well, so it works quite well.
And last night I did a watch on my own, so it was pretty scary because it was my responsibility. And if I did something wrong, everyone would die.
So yeah, he gets up when it's still dark, and he sits here on watch. He's looking after all of us in the boat. That's the rip that we got in the Belluna, which must have happened when it backed, we think, anyway. It hasn't got any bigger, but yeah, it's not good, it needs repairing. Right, so Woody's up now, so we're going to get this Belluna down. The storm has cleared a bit, so we're going to get the Belluna down and start heading in, which would be a bit more of a kind of broad reach. So we could probably get our favourite Belluna up, which is the mizzen Belluna, and we should be doing just as good speed actually. So we've got to put on this D-hooker, which is attaching now. So this D-hooker is going to D-hook the halyard at the top. So he's going to pull that up about 20 centimetres off the top. That's at which point I turn up into wind and luff up that Belluna, ease the sheet so it goes in front of the Genoa. Then you're supposed to pull it up the last bit, and then it's supposed to come down. Honestly, we have to read the book every time we do this because it's so complicated, but I think we're getting the hang of it. Yes, after you get the spinnaker down, which is not a job I'd like to do, trying to battle with that, then you have to bring the trip line down. And if you've watched our blog from Martinique to Suriname, you'll remember that's what we forgot to do last time. And yeah, it was a bit of a disaster because several things got broken, and oh, I don't know what, you could have to watch the blog, honestly. Okay, that's the de-hooker, they say. It has to come down after you brought the sail down. It's very weird. Basically, I think I can explain it now, is when you put the sail up, you put it up, then it locks into place and you bring the halyard down. And then when you bring the sail down, you put the de-hooker up to unhook the sail, bring the sail down, and then bring the de-hooker down afterwards. So it's not like a normal one where you bring it up and bring it down, that's it. It's like, you've got to remember all those different bits.
So we've put the engine on, and we're going to head for the coast because we're not going to make it before nightfall. And something we've noticed, that there's a pattern along this coastline that during the day you see the cumulus clouds build up along the horizon, and they build up the cumulonimbus, and then come nightfall the thunderstorms kind of release the energy. And so we're just a bit scared that it's going to happen just as we're getting into port during the day. I mean, it's a cloud spotter's dream around here. You know, you get all sorts. You get the cumulus and the stratus and the cirrus, and you can see the movement and how it kind of builds up into a storm. But not so much fun for a sailor who's out at sea and wants to get into land when those thunderstorms kick off just as they're approaching. So we've got the engine on. We're doing not bad speed. We're doing sort of 6.4, 6.5 over the ground, which should get us in about 7 o'clock-ish, which is just as they start. So provided nothing goes wrong, we should hopefully get there in time.
So we're about 20 minutes away from the kind of point we've got around, and then about an hour away from the harbour and the marina. There's a lot of shallows that extend out from this point. We've got it on the chart, on the navigational chart, but we're not sure, you know, you never know whether that's accurate or not because it might have changed. So we're kind of giving it a nice wide berth, and we're keeping a close eye on the deck. We've got to that headland, that last headland, rounding into Santa Marta. And we could see this massive storm building behind us. And we had about an hour, I suppose, to get to Santa Marta still. And we were kind of thinking, I hope this will just hold off another hour. And it just came so quick. And the wind picked up to 30 knots. We put all sails away.
This has to be one of the most dramatic entrances we've ever been in. We've got lightning over there, we've got lightning over there, and we've got gusts of winds, sometimes gusting up to 30. And it's a bit scary actually.
I personally don't think we've ever had an ordinary entrance to a marina, except this is like the most dramatic one. I think it's kind of weird how quickly boating can change. Like, about half an hour ago I was having a nice shower using my like shower gel and all my new creams and stuff because we're going into marina and we'll have more water, and now I'm all salty again from the sea spray, and I'm helping my mum and dad try get through this storm.
Marina Santa Marta, Marina Santa Marta, this is mothership, over.
Control tráfico, catamarán no.
Now the Port Authority told us to try 72.
Okay. Well, I'll just try 16 as well. The Marina, Santa Marta Marina, this is mothership, over.
I find it quite quick how things change. But it's exciting. Like, it's not every day you have to throw on your cold weather gear on the coast of Colombia to try get into a marina in the middle of a storm after your nice warm shower. I'm looking forward to Colombia.
We had the engine on the whole day today because of the storms we saw last night, and we kind of were dodging them, and we thought if that's going to happen every night, you know, we need to get there before the storms start at night. So it turned out to be quite a crazy rounding of that corner. I mean, first we were just worried about the shallows. We were just thinking we've just got to stay nice, you know, wide berth for those shallows in case they've changed over time, because that happens a lot. And then like that came. We had the pole out in the Genoa, and I was thinking we need to get that. I sort of thought we need to reef that Genoa, and so it's like, right, now I need to kind of try and get in as quick as possible. We don't want any sail up because it's really, really windy and gusty, and then get through this kind of narrow gap. And once you get through, then even in the gusts, it's just not too bad. The sea state calms down a bit, and then we just had to wait a good sort of, I'll say 30 minutes for the marina to sort of work out where we're going to go and come out and help us in. We arrived safely, finally, in the marina. It was a little bit hairy at the end. Yeah, we had this storm pretty much just building behind, and we thought we'd get here before it hit us, but it did kind of, we just got caught in it.
But we're here, and we've checked in, just had a shower. The showers are lovely, and it just feels so good to be human again, you know, with a nice hot, clean shower, not worry about the water. And it sounds like the town's quite lively. People are really friendly, and so we can't wait to get out there and do some exploring tomorrow.
A big thanks for watching, and especially thanks to our patrons who make these videos possible. If you'd like to become part of the Patreon family, then follow the link in the description below, or just put Mothership Adrift Patreon and I'll take you to the right place.
You and me, we're family. The bond that we share is as deep as the sea. No matter how rough things may come to be, you and me, we're family. Sing ho, hey, along for the ride.
Thanks for watching, and thanks for subscribing, and don't forget we have another channel which is dedicated to boat maintenance called Mothership Maintenance, so it'd be great if you subscribe to that too. Thank you. And don't forget to check out our new t-shirt designs available on our merchandise store.
Away